Now chapter 3 is called
The Unpleasant Meeting.
So we just actually finished chapter 3 and it ended really, really good. It was really juicy. And so we were going to start into chapter 4. What do you remember about chapter 3?
Chapter 3 is about so Ava they went to a store, and then Nancy also went to a store to get a school dance, just a dance thing, a dance, and she was trying to get a dress, and then also Isabella and Ava probably wanted a dress too, and then Ava was like, can we have a person come over here?
Being what?
Impatient.
Impatient and rude.
And Aunt Ava had a pretty ugly face.
Yes.
Because when she was mad, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good. So the chapter picks up with Nancy is at home. It's the next morning, and Nancy is going to go shopping for a dress, like Leah said, for a dance. So Nancy is supposed to go shopping for her dress, and then she's supposed to go to her dad's office, and then they're going to go to lunch to see, hopefully, Mr. Henry Rolstad, and to talk to him about the will. So Nancy leaves in her convertible. She goes to the department store, and the department store is really busy. And so she basically has to take a number and wait her turn, right? We all have to wait our turn sometimes.
If it's really busy.
Exactly. And so she's sitting in a chair waiting for her turn when she hears a huge commotion. What was the commotion?
Can I please have a person come over here?
Yes. The sisters were being really rude to the man.
And disrespectful and impatient.
Yes. Was being really rude, impatient, and disrespectful to the manager. Basically saying, we need someone to help us. We don't care if there's a line.
And because we're not used to being patient.
That's what they said. They said, we're not used to having to wait. And then one of the sisters goes, our dad owns stock in this store and we can get you fired. He says that to the manager to try to make them wait on them. But what the manager said, it's a store policy.
It's you have to wait your turn.
Right. So finally they get a person to help the sisters. And Nancy's just sitting there like just watching it all unfold, okay? So the sisters are talking to the sales associate. So rude. One of the sisters had enough nerve to throw one of the dresses on the ground and then step on it.
Yeah, and then one time Nancy said, this one looks nice. And then Ava snatches the dress and she's the one who caused the rip.
Yes, so the dress that she let drop to the ground that she said that she didn't like, Nancy was like, that dress looks kind of nice. So Nancy walked over to where they were and picked the dress up off the floor. And then one of the sisters goes, don't touch that dress, and then tries to snatch it out of Nancy's hand. And when she did that, she rips the dress. And so the sisters basically run off because they don't want to pay for it or accept responsibility for it.
Because they think it's too expensive and then we'll be poor.
And so then the sales associate comes back and she sees the dress and she's like, great, this is going to get taken out of my check. And Nancy was like, wait a minute, I like this dress. Can I try it on? So Nancy tries it on. She was like, this dress looks good. Like, can you get your seamstress over here? So the seamstress comes and makes it all good. And Nancy's like, I'll take the dress. So then Nancy leaves and goes to her dad's office. And then they walk to
the hotel
restaurant to hopefully meet Henry Rolstad for lunch. And guess what?
He said yes at 12:30.
Yes. So they're sitting there eating lunch and
they're talking about subjects.
Yes. And Nancy's just kind of like, Dad, I just want to talk about what I want to talk about. But, you know, if you're looking to have somebody to answer the questions, you kind of got to be patient. So the dad was talking about their college years and they're talking about all this other stuff. And so finally at dessert, the dad brings up the will.
And they were like, is Josiah Crawley the one who changed up the will?
Yes. And so you can tell Henry Rolstad is kind of like, should I tell them? And so Henry says to them, all right, I'm going to tell y'all this, but this is a secret. And so he says, this is what happened. About a year before Josiah died, it's okay. About a year before Josiah died, he came to my office asking for help with a will. And so he says to him, I want to do the will myself, but I have some questions. Will you answer the questions for me? Or will you take a look at it when I'm finished?
Yeah.
And so Henry goes, I will. And so he told him what he needed to do, and Josiah was going to write up the will. The only thing is, Josiah never came back with the second will. So now we know Josiah had intended for there to be a second will. And I think that's kind of where chapter 3 ended. Yes, it literally ends like this. It says another will. Miss Carson Drew is Nancy's dad.
Yeah.
Then you believe Crawley made a second one? Mr. Ralsted hesitated, as though uncertain whether or not he should divulge any further information. Then, with a quick glance about, he lowers his voice and says, this is strictly confidential. So we finished chapter 3, and literally it was ... and we were like on the edge of our seats, which is part of what I love about mystery and suspense, which my little one, well, you're not little anymore, my daughter is now starting to love and appreciate too. So now we're moving on to chapter 4, which is called
Racing the Storm.
So we're going to read chapter 4, and then we're going to come back and tell you all about chapter 4.
Tomorrow. I know.
Maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight. I don't know.
Tomorrow, maybe tonight. We don't know.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.